Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Beware the Board.
Well, this week, so Monday.
Monday, which is when this will be coming out.
It's part 2 of episode 5.
Part 2 of episode 5.
Where we're looking at the Halloween category, and very specifically, we're looking at Halloween 1, 2, and 3.
We record these in batches.
Yeah, so we just finished reviewing Halloween, the original movie, 30 minutes ago. And
we had to take a little break to get some food and go to the gas station and get drinks and stuff.
That should have came out last Friday.
Yeah.
And today's Monday,
So
if we're
Halloween
keeping our
2.
schedule. And this is Halloween 2.
And then next Wednesday will be Halloween 3, and then Friday will be the normal episode.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
2 days from now.
Yeah, 2 days from when you're hearing this.
Yeah. So, you ready for me to start with our notes and stuff?
Yeah, man. I'm really excited. I really liked the first one, so I'm excited to see how the second one pans out.
All right, so Halloween 2, 1981. Good year in horror. I keep saying that.
I've thought about putting 81 as one of the categories we want to do.
It'll be fun at some point.
Yeah.
But I think we'll just hit those movies.
Probably,
in other
honestly.
categories, which I think is kind of more fun.
Yeah.
Because it's actual
Maybe
categories.
if there's something in 81 that we specifically want to watch, we could pick it.
Maybe that we can't get otherwise.
Mm-hmm. That it would like kind of hard to fit into a category.
I think that'd be a good... I'm going to bring this up now. Because we kind of talked about it off the record.
Yeah.
But at some point, if we ever have time, I want to do like a series of special episodes.
Oh, yeah. Like, what was it? The something Trinity, right? The Unholy Trinity we talked about?
I want to watch the Unholy Trinity of folk horror because... I haven't talked about this on the podcast yet, so I might as well talk about it now. My favorite subgenre of horror is folk horror.
Yep.
I love it.
Oh, he's always talking about it.
I mean, I've written papers about it for school.
Yeah.
I really like it. But I've told Bob that if I have to choose 3 movies, I'm going to choose the 3 movies that define the genre.
That makes sense.
Because they are by far the most interesting. However, they're not the scariest movies ever.
Yeah.
And so I'd much rather watch them before I ever chose it for the board.
I mean, can I be real? The Halloween 1 was not scary, but it was a really good film.
But it had to go on the board.
It had to. If you hadn't put Halloween under the Halloween category, I might have been mad at you.
And that's why I really want to cover those movies not on the board before we get to the board.
Yeah.
For that category. But yeah, how'd I get on this topic?
We were talking about 1981.
Oh, yeah. So maybe 1981 could be a good, like, kind of off-the-board category at some point.
That could be fun. Or do you think there's enough films we could do a whole board?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want it to be its own board. It would be like a separate mini-series.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I think. When we get comfortable with this format, we might do mini-series at some point.
Yeah, we might do some cool stuff, hopefully.
The one thing I always talk to you about, I picked up movies at the convention.
Yeah, that too. I want to watch those.
That I want to review. So maybe we'll do that at some point when we have time.
we
have time. Anyways, 1981. It's an hour and 32 minutes long.
So 1 minute
1 minute longer.
Oh, 1 minute longer. I thought it was 1 minute shorter.
It's got a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
So lower rating on IMDb.
Yeah, but that's not shocking. It's a sequel.
And all right.
It's rated R.
Both are rated R. Okay.
Yeah. So the description of this one.
Mm-hmm.
A traumatized Laurie is rushed to the hospital only to be followed by Michael Myers in this continuation of the original film.
Well, hold on. This one takes place right after?
That's why I included them.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yep. In my notes for the board,
yeah,
this was originally the Halloween duology, and I added the 3rd movie at the last moment.
Okay.
But I'll discuss that in the next episode.
That makes sense. That's wow. I didn't realize it would take place so quickly after the other one.
Oh, yeah. It's like right after.
What? Do you know? This year came out in 1991. The other one came out in
78.
So this is only, this movie came out like 3 years after the original. So yeah. Wow.
Which is real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So famous people in this movie that aren't in the first one.
Oh, okay.
I really only noted one because I say famous, but noteworthy. Dick Warlock is playing Michael Myers. So it's a different Michael Myers actor.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Already?
It switches all the time.
Dick Warlock. What a name.
Yeah. Dick Warlock. Cool name.
Cool name.
All right. This movie's directed by Rick Rosenthal.
Oh, it's not John Carpenter doesn't do this one too?
Nope. He didn't direct this one.
Wow. I'm actually highly surprised.
Rick Rosenthal, though, is known for directing Bad Boys.
I've never seen those movies.
Yeah, not those movies.
Oh, wait, not the movies I'm thinking of?
Yes, I even put in my notes, not the ones you're thinking of.
Oh, what movie? Well, hold on. What is that?
It's a different Bad Boys.
Oh,
I think it's a horror Bad Boys.
Oh, all right.
He would eventually go on to direct Halloween Resurrection, which is a Halloween movie much later in the series.
Oh, is that Rob Zombie? Or is that...
No, that's in the original timeline.
Oh, okay.
I believe, yeah.
Interesting.
But, yeah, not John Carpenter.
Which I'm honestly really surprised by.
With that being said, it is written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill again.
Oh, so they wrote it, they just didn't directly direct it this time.
Yeah, they didn't want to.
Okay.
And I think this needs to be said again. Their original plan for the Halloween series was to have this be each movie being its own contained story.
Yeah.
And so they weren't exactly happy that, like, they were told, hey, you got to do Michael Myers again. Because they expected the end of that film with that whole open reveal of, like, Myers is gone.
Yeah.
And just these shots panning to nothing to be like,
He's around.
a ghost in the wind. He's around. And that was supposed to be the end of Michael Myers. They were told, nah, you got to bring him back. So I didn't direct this one. They didn't want to.
I mean, that's fair. Glad they wrote it, though, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's their property, so
yeah,
they'll write it if they want.
It's so good.
I mean, I think John Carpenter's, he gets credits on all these movies.
All kinds of shit. He's done so much stuff.
The budget on this one,
okay,
a little bit higher, $25 million.
Holy shit! They made that first movie for $325,000.
Yeah,
and it was great. I like that movie.
This had a budget of $25 million.
If this isn't a magnitude better than the first one, the money doesn't matter.
But I'm gonna tell you something that should establish a trend for you.
Sure.
When we talk about these big horror franchise sequels, box office $25.5 million. So it only made $500,000.
Oh, that blows.
Yeah.
How does that happen if the first one is so like...
Well, the first movie was basically a hit out of nowhere. No one expected it to succeed like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it did, and it made a lot of money. The second one is, I think it's a good movie.
Okay.
It, however, is not as good or original as the first movie. Obviously, it's a sequel.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get those same blow it out of the park numbers.
Okay.
Additionally, like 3 years later, copycats, stuff like that. You know.
I see.
But what should be said, that's kind of a thing with these franchises. Like, they're a big deal. They keep getting movies. I mean, there's still Halloween movies. One came out this year.
Yeah, fucking crazy.
But a lot of them do not perform very well in the box office. And how they make their money is people go and buy them and stuff like that.
I feel like in a lot of cases, franchises gain fans. And it's
they
like,
stay
I'm
alive.
a fan of this franchise specifically.
They stay alive through fans, not necessarily through box office stuff, especially way back in the day. Nowadays, you can do that. Like, there's a reason Halloween, like the new trilogy, is in theaters.
Yeah, but that was basically straight to streaming, wasn't it?
No, it was in theaters.
Was it? I didn't know that.
But
I know it's on Peacock or whatever.
I mean, yeah, you can buy it and stream it right away. But yeah, tagline for this movie.
Ooh, okay.
More of the night he came home, which is a much better tagline.
It's way better than the first one. The first one was super cheesy.
It tells you what you're expecting. This is just a continuation
of the first movie.
It's basically one mega movie, just shot over 3 years.
Makes sense why you
put them together.
Here.
Yeah. Michael's mask in this film is the exact same mask used in the original film.
Wow, that's really cool.
Differences in appearance are due to wearing like faded paint related to time and conditions. I didn't put it down in my notes, but I read the story about it, and I believe Nick Castle, one of the crew members who played...
Yeah, the dude that was Michael when it wasn't really Michael.
Yeah, Michael, when he's wearing the mask, is played by Nick Castle, and he was a crew member, and apparently, from what I could find, he had the original mask, and he just kind of like threw it in his back pocket, and then stored it under his bed for like 3 years. So, it's not in the greatest shape, but it is...
The OG mask.
That's
pretty rad.
And that part of that is like, they would have kept it in good condition, but they didn't expect to use it again.
Yeah, they were like, it's over, you can keep the mask, man.
And that's kind of a thing with this franchise. Like, I think they then lost the mask after this.
Really?
Or something. There's some weird history with the mask.
Like, I totally get being an actor and keeping stuff from your shows.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you look on my shelf behind you, I've got a wizard hat from a show I did in high school. I've got a gumdrop button from a show I did in high school. All my scripts from all the shows I've ever done are down there with notes in them still.
Yeah.
I keep all that stuff.
It makes sense.
It's very sentimental to me.
If it's a big franchise, they don't let you do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, totally understandable.
Unless you're like the director or some stuff.
Yeah.
But, this was before they thought it was a big deal. So.
Well, it wasn't a big deal until it was.
Yeah. And last thing I got, it's worth noting that while not as successful as the original movie, it still grossed more money than other horror films released in the same year.
Oh, wow.
And
that's
that
cool.
includes Friday the 13th Part 2.
Wow.
So it made more money than that one in the box office. So I think that's
pretty cool.
Should show you like kind of the culture and general
hype, I guess, around the movie.
I don't know if hype's the right word, but just like how the environment of film was at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, for a long time, horror and pornography were viewed the same.
That's very strange to me, to be honest.
We haven't... Fun film history things that, I get on rants about sometimes. Not on this podcast, but to you, because I work with you. For a long time, horror actors, a lot of them also did porn.
Yeah, didn't you tell me Sylvester Stallone used to do porn?
He only did one porno.
One porn.
But yeah, and he's not a good example, but like a lot of Italian films will have porn actors in them.
Okay.
Just because they were considered around the same level of...
Quality?
Not quality, but like they had the same stigma around them.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And so like you could go back and forth and be treated the same.
That makes sense.
But if you did horror, it'd be like being a porn actor and trying to go into regular acting nowadays.
Okay.
So just something to think about. That phased out, around the 70s, but it was still kind of a carryover. It's not taken seriously.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I have to say. I guess we'll start watching the movie.
I'm so excited, by the way.
I'm glad you're excited.
I'm so glad that I got these 3 movies, to be honest, because like I wanted to watch them so bad.
I was excited for you to choose these. I was not excited for 3 movies in a night, but
We'll live. It'll be fine.
All right.
But we'll see you when we're done watching the movie.
Yeah, see you in a bit.
Bye. Hi, everyone. We're back.
Yeah, we're back from movie 2 of the night, Halloween 2.
Yeah, we watched Halloween 2. It was good.
It was good, yeah.
Bob
really liked it. He had a
it
good
was
time.
super fun.
So I guess this is where I describe what happened, yeah?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So the movie starts with like the last couple minutes
Yeah, the last few minutes of the first one.
Halloween, although it is shortened a lot.
Yeah, they cut a lot of the like downtime.
It's like a 5-minute clip, but they cut it down to like a minute or 2.
Yeah.
Which I want to say right now, they do some weird editing stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Loomis shoots 6 times. We counted it.
Yeah,
in the
first
movie.
film. Unloads the whole cylinder.
Yeah, there's a new cut clip from outside where we see Michael falling.
Yep.
And it adds an extra shot, so he shoots 7 times.
7 bullets. One of them he does not have.
And it's really funny because the whole time Loomis is like, I shot him 6 times!
Every time. So I wanted to say this before we started recording, but now I'm going to start it now. We started the first movie, and you're like, I love Dr. Loomis. And I was
Yeah,
like, he's
I love
whatever.
Loomis.
He's fine in the first one. The second one, oh my God, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's so good in the second movie.
And I think part of that is also because I've seen Loomis in these,
Mm-hmm.
so I know how he is as a more developed character.
Yeah.
And then, so going back, I can see how he is
Mm-hmm.
in his little actions.
Yeah.
It's
Super
still-
cool.
It's super cool.
I also really like Loomis now. He might
Yeah.
be my favorite character we've met.
I mean, Donald Pleasance is such a good actor.
He's so good, dude.
so good. But yeah, so that's the end clip of the first movie.
Yep. Michael is gone.
And
Disappeared.
then the first new clip we see is Loomis comes out of the house and looks, and there's a Michael-shaped imprint.
From all the blood, because he shot him 7 times.
I think that's just where he hit the ground so hard.
Well, no, he walks up and runs his hand through the grass.
There's blood in the imprint.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like, I think that imprint's from impact.
That explains why he's so strong. He's so fucking dense.
Dude, that man is a brick shithouse.
He's like a semi-truck.
Uh,
It's insane.
we'll get into that. It gets wild. But
Oh, God.
Loomis just picks up the blood. The neighbor comes out next door and he's like, call the police!
That
I shot him 6 times!
That shit was so funny. Because I'm like, if that happened to me, I would call the police and have
Oh, yeah,
them arrest Dr.
because
Loomis.
The first thing Loomis says to this neighbor, he's like, hey,
I killed
heard,
him.
I heard something. What happened? He's like, I shot a man!
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
The police comes.
And the police know Dr. Loomis is there, so they're like, well,
Yeah,
I can't
so
arrest
they
him.
know.
They're like,
But I think it's really cool. It cuts immediately after Loomis is talking to the neighbor
Yeah.
to a POV shot of Michael.
yeah.
And it took you a minute, I think, to get that.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was at first.
Because you can't tell it's a POV shot. We see
Yeah.
some kids down the street, and
Yep.
it looks like a normal establishing shot.
Yep.
And then it pans to a dog barking at something.
Yep, and then it looks away.
And then you see Dr. Loomis down the alley
Yelling at the cops.
as a cop car pulls up, and he's like, I shot him 6 times! 6 times!
He's so deranged in this movie. It's
I love it.
awesome.
He's a little manic. I would be too if I shot a man 6 times. He felt a third store house.
Oh, for sure.
Disappeared.
Yeah, just off into the night he went.
But then basically they load Lori up. who
Yeah, onto a
survived,
gurney
onto a gurney.
and start investigating the murders of these people.
Yeah, she gets sent to a hospital, which
Yeah.
is HMH, which is Haddonfield Medical Hospital.
Yeah,
That's
I
our
guess. You thought the logo was really
The
cool.
logo's super cool. Like the sides of the H's make the legs of the M.
It is pretty rad, actually,
That's some good logo design
for a made-up
for
hospital.
a small town hospital.
Yeah.
But she goes to the hospital, and then Loomis joins the cops as they basically investigate where Michael went.
is.
And this is where there's an interesting thing that the movie does, where it becomes essentially 2 different plot lines.
Yeah, I like it actually.
Yeah, it's cool. Because, like, one plot line is Lori in the hospital.
Yep.
Which very quickly, Michael shows up there.
Yeah, Michael's hunting her down.
Yeah, he shows up there for a reason we'll talk about later. But we don't
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah,
he just shows up there. And then, on the other hand, there's Loomis and the sheriff from the first movie.
Yep.
Trying to find him.
Trying to figure out where Michael went.
So I think, why don't we break this down into 2 parts?
Where do you want to start? You want to start with the hospital?
Let's start with the B plot with the cops.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Sure.
So basically, they go with the sheriff and they start looking at the buildings and stuff.
Yeah, looking
Um,
around where the bodies were found to try and figure out where Michael has gone off to.
Yeah, and I think they're just driving down the street looking for him with
Yeah.
the big spotlight.
Yeah, and
And Loomis,
someone who looks First of all, you said it during the recording. Very coincidental.
he's wearing like the same jumper outfit
In this, almost the same.
and the same mask, which I will say they do say in the first movie he stole the mask from the hardware store.
which means other people could also be wearing the mask.
And this person, who we know is obviously not Michael,
Not Michael, because he's not. He has a bag of candy.
because he is a bag of candy.
Yeah.
Starts walking away
So,
from the
hold
cop
on.
and Loomis.
Right before this.
Oh, yeah.
I have to set up because this is set up for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Before this, a cop comes over the radio and is asking the chief a bunch of questions, or the sheriff a bunch of questions. And the sheriff is like, no, meet me at this road, go down here, meet me over here.
Yeah.
But come quick. Like, this is important.
Right.
So keep going now.
So-
So there's a cop on the way to the scene where they are right now.
Loomis sees this guy, hops out of the almost still moving vehicle, starts chasing him out, pulls a gun out, runs through some children,
Starts trying to shoot him.
and then starts aiming. The cop has to grab his arm.
Yeah,
and
the
push
cop
it in
stops
the
him.
air. And then out of nowhere, this cop car barrels into this dude and hits him into a van.
That explodes.
That explodes.
Killing him, presumably.
And so
well, it does kill him. He
kills
he's
this
dead.
guy, sets him on fire.
Yep. So they're like,
And there's this moment of the sheriff goes, "Is that him?" And Loomis is like,
I don't fucking know.
"I don't know."
He's burned up.
Yeah. I think this is a really cool scene because,
I think it's super funny, but also absurd.
and I think it was startling for you. You didn't expect
It did
that.
scare me.
But it's super cool because it establishes this idea that we know as the audience that Michael Myers is obviously alive.
Yeah.
We know where he is. He's at the hospital with Lori at this point.
Yep.
However, the people who are looking for him, Loomis and the cops,
They assume they got him.
they assume they've got him for a minute. So they stop searching.
Yeah, they take the body to the coroner to get it investigated to make sure it's Michael.
Well, they send it to the coroner, and then all of them go back to the house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Because I think right after the guy gets hit, the sheriff gets a call.
No, the other cop rolls up, remember?
Yeah, the other cop
The
rolls
blonde
up.
cop rolls up and tells him that his daughter was one of the people murdered in the house.
Anne is the
Yeah.
sheriff's daughter. So they go to the house, and the sheriff IDs him, and then the blonde cop sends the sheriff home.
Yep, because he's like, you need to go tell your wife. Like, that's very important. You should let her know.
Yeah, the sheriff's just like, I gotta tell my wife before someone else tells her.
Yeah, so he heads home.
I think they got the same actress for Anne. It looked
the
really
same.
similar.
Yeah, I think they got the same actor.
And then it's basically Loomis with the blonde cop because they go back to the mortuary.
I like the blonde cop. I think he's very funny.
There's this extra crispy guy,
Oh,
and they're like, well, this dude has no cavities.
Yep, or no fillings or anything.
He looks young, 16 to 17, and Loomis is like, yeah, Michael's 21.
Yep.
And
I think he definitely has cavities and fillings and stuff
yeah,
too.
and so the coroner's like, well, it's gonna take a couple hours to do IDs.
Yeah.
And Loomis is like, well,
I don't have a
he's
couple
out there.
hours, yeah.
We gotta go look. And the blonde cop's like, but we called off the search. He's like,
But he's out there.
but if he's out there, he could be killing people.
Yep.
And good on the blonde cop. He's like,
You know what? You're right.
you know what? You're right. And he turns to the guy who comes in. He's like,
Resume the search.
resume the search. The dude's like, but we just stopped.
It's like, you guys got him. And he's like, no, we didn't. Go look.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God someone's finally listening to crazy old man Loomis.
So they start searching. Eventually, they wind up at a school
Yeah, they get a call that the elementary school had a break-in.
that they think is Michael.
Yep.
Which I think is very cool because we did not see this happen.
No, we have no fucking idea
Like-
that he even went there.
In any other part of the film, we did not see him break into the
Because
school.
there's a very long portion of the film where we don't see Michael at all.
Yeah,
Because after they think they killed him, we don't see him for a while.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Because
I think it's to play with our expectations.
it is. And also it sort of allows us to get
Relaxed.
not relaxed, but it allows them to set up the other characters that we're going to meet throughout the movie
Yeah.
and set up like the relationships and how they're going to interact with each other and stuff like that in the hospital, which is cool.
Now, I think this is a really cool idea that he went to the elementary school.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned this to Bob while we were watching, but it shows that he got up to stuff off screen.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have killed a bunch of people we don't see.
Yeah. Which is something I think would be interesting
Yeah.
to see later.
They make a line at the end of the film that's like, how many people have you found so far? And they're like 10 so far.
Yep.
Including the first and this movie. But
Yeah.
it shows that there could be more people they just didn't find.
Yep.
Now, when they're at the hospital, the nurse from the first movie shows up.
Yep.
She's like, Loomis, can I speak to you outside? And she's like, yeah, so the governor's like, you gotta go back to the hospital because you can't be here.
Yeah, you have to go back to the sanatorium where you were keeping Michael.
Because apparently, Michael being an escaped convict does not look good for the
The government.
rehabilitation program
Yeah.
that they were trying to put him through.
Did not work.
And Loomis is like, yeah, I fucking told him. He should have stayed in prison forever.
Yeah.
But Loomis agrees, and they start getting driven away. Now,
Yep.
something happens, but we're going to switch back to the other side of the story.
I didn't know if you were going to talk about that
Yeah,
yet. Okay,
we're
we'll
gonna wait.
We'll come back.
So, on the other hand, there's Lori
In the hospital.
in the hospital. Now,
With
she
Jimmy?
got driven there by Jimmy
Yep, one of the
and
ambulance
Bud
driver.
with
Bud,
2 Ds,
Bud with 2 Ds.
who are ambulance drivers.
Yeah, they're just EMS people.
There's a couple nurses there. I think there's 3.
There's Karen,
Karen, Jill.
and then the black lady that I don't remember her name.
Yes.
I don't actually know if we learned her
I don't
name.
think we learned her name.
It was probably on her name tag.
It probably was, but I had trouble seeing name tags.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, I didn't know Jill's name until we got a clean shot of her
barely see
tag
it.
and can read it. Yeah.
She's the blonde one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's this fat security guard, Keith.
I forgot. You remembered his name?
I
I
don't
didn't.
know. I'm gonna call him Keith.
Okay.
There's the doctor,
Yeah. Oh God.
who has a funny name, and then
Dr.
there's
Mixter.
there's the other lady.
Oh, the
I don't know. Who
assistant.
I think
lady?
she's like a
secretary, like a desk.
I think she's
lady?
the desk lady.
Yeah.
Long story short, Lori comes in and Dr. Mixter's treating her.
And
Dr. Mixter's like, all right, I'm going to put her under.
and she's like, do not fucking do that.
She's like begging him. It's really sad.
It is very, very sad. She's like, do not put me under. I don't want to go to sleep. Like, she's scared of something.
Well, obviously, she's in shock.
For sure. I mean, she just I mean, that's a crazy experience to go through.
I think that's good acting. And it's something you notice throughout the movie. Lori's in shock, like the whole time.
Yes, she does not recover.
Yeah, she does not recover, which is, I think, pretty interesting because in movies like this, a lot of times you'll see people go into shock or get hurt and then they recover.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole movie, she's in shock. There's like evident signs. They do a POV shot from her later in the movie.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
and
kind
her
of
vision's all blurry.
Tunnel focused and blurry.
Yeah.
Also, she's limping the whole movie.
Yeah, because her leg's fucked up from getting thrown down the stairs in the first one.
And I think she's moving only because of adrenaline. 'Cause
Yeah.
Later in the movie, she crawls, and barely at that.
Yeah.
So she gets knocked out. And then it's just hospital scenes for a while.
Yeah. Just stuff going on in the hospital.
The nurses are walking around doing stuff.
Yeah, talking to each other.
Although, at this
What?
point, we know Michael Myers is in the hospital.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
a POV shot of he's looking out a door, and we see a nurse go by,
Yep.
and then he walks into the nursery with all the babies.
Yep. I was so afraid he was going to kill some babies.
Well, I made a joke about him eating babies, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like dog.
Oh, God. That was scary.
And then you see another nurse walk by, and it's a
Yeah.
really cool shot, because then they focus on the nurses.
Yep, and then you can see him in the very back between the windows, like sitting there menacingly watching
Being
them.
a shape.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just like there in the background.
He's just being an asshole.
Which there's not a lot of background shots in this one as the first one.
There aren't as many, but I feel like that's I don't want to say
They're still there.
I find it better.
They're in the first one. It's more of these like here's an establishing shot, and then we briefly pan away,
And then we pan
and then he's
back.
there.
Yeah.
And then we pan away again, and he's gone. This one just had still shots, and he's just there in the background.
He's just in the back of it,
standing,
which is cool.
and it's different.
It is different.
It's a different directorial style.
It's a very different film, but it's
Yeah.
still good.
Yes, it's very different, and we'll talk about that I think at the end once
Yeah.
we get through. But yeah, then what ends up happening is security guard goes outside because he thinks someone breaks into
The lockup room or whatever.
yeah, whatever.
And so here's the thing. It shows Michael going to the coming into the hospital, and it's just a shot of the security guard turned around reading a magazine.
Yeah.
And behind him you can see Michael on the CCTV walk into the hospital, and then the dude just like turns on and is like, "What was that?" And then he gives her name, the security lady's name was Janet. I remember that now. Oh, and
Damn it, Janet.
damn it, Janet. And then the security guard's name was Mr. Garrett.
Ah.
That's what it was. I remember that now because basically he gives one to the secretary. He's like, "Listen, I'm gonna go out and check this out. If I need any help, I'll call." And then they go out there and the fucking radios don't work anyway. It's too far.
Before we continue,
Yeah. Did we skip something?
the old people making sandwiches.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Michael goes into a house. There's old people. He steals a knife.
Yep. Leaves a
From behind
blood
it,
print
leaves a blood print.
on one of the sandwiches.
Then goes to the next house and just stabs the lady next door.
Yeah, just kills her. That's the cold open kill.
That's basically the cold open kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because she was gonna call the cops because she heard the old people screaming.
No, she wasn't. She was just calling her friend.
Oh.
Because she was like, I think Mr. What's his name just finally decided to hit his wife.
Oh yeah, well, the 80s, you know.
Anyways, off topic. I just thought we should mention
Yeah,
it.
we should. That was part of the movie we skipped. It was cool. It was slow, but it was very similar to the first film.
It establishes it's a different movie, though, because it's a
It
lot
does.
bloodier of a slashing kill.
Yeah, dude. This movie is so much more brutal than the first one.
Yeah.
In better ways. The first one felt very clean and methodical, and everything was really well thought out. Not that this movie didn't have that, because it did.
I think the
But
first
Michael
movie,
Myers was way more of an asshole in this movie.
Yeah, we picked a better word for it. Like I said, the first movie was more brutal, and this movie is more gruesome, I think you said.
gruesome, yeah.
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 Because he's just pure force in the first movie, and this one it's a lot more drawn out sometimes.
And it's fucked, some of the shit when we get to it.
Yeah, the security guard goes outside, and he's going through the doors.
Yep.
Of course,
Trying to find
Michael's
Michael.
behind one of them.
Yep,
And Michael takes the
God.
back end of a claw hammer and slams it into his head.
he gets domed.
That
That shit. Ooh.
like a little can opener.
Oh, gross. It's
But
fucking grody.
jeez, what happens after that?
He gets Janet, doesn't he?
Uh,
He goes back. He gets into the hospital after that
does he?
and starts walking around and Yeah. Well, no. Is it Janet?
No, it's not Janet.
Is it the people?
Oh, I think he goes into the boiler room. Yeah, he goes into the boiler room.
Yeah. So there's a minute after the security guard gets caught where we don't really see Michael.
Yeah, not a lot happens.
Yeah. It's just kind of like setting up that Karen and Bud are gonna try and have sex,
Yeah.
and that
Karen's one of the nurses, Bud's the
and that
the
Jimmy has a
shittiest
weird
security
thing
guard.
for Lori.
Oh my god, it's so creepy.
It's weird, man.
It's weird. He's concerned because his brother is the same age as her.
Yep.
But it just feels weirdly sexual.
It is weirdly sexual, and I'm not into it.
But long story short, Bud and
Karen.
Karen go to the hydrotherapy room.
Yeah, where
which
there's
basically
like
has a giant
hot tub
hot tub.
for them, and they're trying to bang in the hot tub.
They're trying to bang in the hot tub. Michael turns the water temperature all the way up.
All
so
the way
it
up.
slowly starts rising, and Karen is being a Karen.
She's like, "It's hot in here. Please go turn it down."
So Bud gets up.
Naked, butt ass naked. We
do
see man ass,
which
is, you know,
I mean, I'm not a fan of man ass, but respect for putting it in.
because you don't see it in a lot of movies.
You don't see it in a lot of
plenty
movies.
of women ass, plenty of boobs.
I mean,
never
there was
man
that
ass.
in that scene too. So
Yeah, well,
he gets up, and it's really cool because we're focused on
Karen.
and
you can
who's got
see-
out of the tub, and she's just toweling off. And then in the background, through the glass door,
You could see Mikey
we see Michael walk up behind Bud, wrap a rope around his neck,
and strangle him.
Yeah.
Silently.
he pulls him to the window next door and drops him, and it's just completely silent.
Yep, nothing. You can't hear a goddamn thing over the boiling water. It's awesome.
I like that kill.
I do
it has
too.
the same brutality and feel to the first movie.
Yeah, it does.
It's
It
not
does.
like gory, it's just clean.
this. Oh.
And then he walks up behind Karen and puts his hand on her shoulder, and Karen thinks it's Bud.
Yeah, she's talking to him like it's Bud.
And she starts nibbling on his fingers.
Oh god, it's so weird. Gross. You know, Michael Myers does not have clean hands, bro.
No, he has not washed his hands. There's not blood on them, but they're dirty. They look kind of black.
Yeah.
So she's nibbling on them. I don't know how she didn't realize these are the hands of an 8-foot tall man
Yeah.
and not tiny ass Bud. But she turns around and she screams because it's
Michael.
obviously Michael Myers. He grabs her head and starts slamming it into the water.
Over and over and over again.
And Bob, do you want to explain what the issue you had with that was?
Sorry. Well, you mentioned it. Michael turned the water all the way up,
Yeah.
and it starts to boil.
Yeah. So by the time he starts slamming her head into the water, it's in the danger zone for scalding. It's
Yeah.
above 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's really fucking hot.
And so
So her skin just starts to flay off as he's dipping
Yeah.
her face in and out and pulling it out brutally.
it's a good effect. It looks like they took glue or something and then glued, like, I don't know, tissue paper because it's peeling off her
It literally
skin.
looks like her skin's peeling
Yeah,
off.
it looks
It's
really good.
Foul.
Did you gag during the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Although I have to mention, this is one of the times in the movie we see how inhuman
Oh yeah, he's
He
fine.
is.
He's completely fine.
he's
after
completely
his
fine
hand in that.
because his hand is on the back of her head,
Yeah.
so it's going in the water.
Yep, because he's pushing her
No
down pretty
concern.
far, drowning her.
Yeah, no concern.
No, he's fine. Literally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets shot a lot. It is just fine.
Yeah. Next kill after that is
I'm trying to remember. How did Janet fucking die?
Janet.
Yeah, when did? Oh, I remember.
I-
Oh,
Janet
I
disappears.
forgot- No-
Janet has disappeared at this point. And basically what happens is
Yeah, because
Jill-
Lori gets up, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Jill
God.
starts goes to Lori's room.
Yep,
'cause
looking
she's
for
looking
her.
for all her friends.
Yep.
She goes to Lori's room.
Lori's gone,
Lori's not in the bed.
and there's just a bunch of pillows that have been stabbed repeatedly.
Yeah, because in the interim, Michael has gone into Lori's room and stabbed the bed.
because he thought she was sleeping.
there's a
under the
reveal
pillows.
that it's pillows.
Yeah.
And then he disappears.
Yep.
And Jill comes in the room.
looking for
Lori's
to make
not
sure
there.
she's okay.
Because the rest of her staff's gone.
Yep, she's the only one working in this fucking hospital at this point.
And then Jim runs up
yeah, Jimmy's running up.
and he's like, I don't know where anyone is. You go check that way, and I'll
go
check this way.
Yep.
And
So at this point, Lori has gotten up, moved like, I don't know, a couple rooms over, and then passed back out in a room with a telephone.
now, around the same time,
Yeah.
there is the front desk lady,
Janet.
Janet.
Yep.
I think this might have happened before we see Jim and Jill meet up. But
Maybe.
Janet's looking for Dr. Mixter.
Dr. Mixter.
She goes into his room, showers on.
Yeah, which is, I don't know why the shower's on.
Well, he started the shower like he was going to get in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
He's not in the shower.
Nope.
So
According to you, he's too old to take a shower.
I thought that was funny. So she knocks on his door. She goes into his room. He's sitting there looking at his fish tank.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Just normal.
And then she turns him around.
Oh, God.
Bob, I'm going to let you describe this
I
one.
don't fucking want to be honest. Okay, so, he's turned around looking at his fish tank, and she's like, Dr. Mixter, doctor. Not saying shit. He's not moving. So, of course, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh, his throat's gonna be slit, or like he's gonna fucking be stabbed to death or something. She fucking spins his stupid ass around, and there is a needle sticking out of his eye.
Yeah.
The whole syringe, actually.
His right eye. And I think this is important to note. We see some side shots, but they're cut just perfectly with shadow that you see the left side of his face is fine.
Yep.
Which makes it seem like he wasn't brutalized.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be just like, I didn't know what was. I thought his throat was slit. Personally,
You thought he might have been throat slit or maybe choked.
Yeah,
But
Michael
no.
was into choking.
There's a needle in his eye.
Yeah,
And
fucking. Oh God.
It isn't
Ugh.
revealed why this killed him until seconds later.
Mikey.
Michael comes up behind Janet,
grabs her.
grabs her, takes a syringe, fills it with air, and then shoves it through the side of her skull.
Yep.
And presses down, essentially filling her brain cavity
With air.
with air.
Which will kill you.
Brain aneurysm, yeah. Embolism, I guess.
I have no idea
Which
what it's called.
tells us that that's how Dr. Mixter died too.
That's how he
put
got
air through his eyeball into his brain.
Oh God, I hate that
Bob
shit.
doesn't like needles.
No, I don't like needles
Or eyes.
or eyes.
So back to Jim and Jill.
Jimmy and Jill.
Jim runs into a room.
So yeah, he
Minor
runs-
surgery room.
or major surgery room. He gets the choice because they're both there. But he sees that the light is on in minor
minor.
surgery. So he's like, I'm gonna look in there.
And oh look, there's lady.
I don't know her fucking name. I don't.
There's
remember
lady.
her
We don't know her name.
Yeah.
He looks at her. He's like, "What's wrong?" Her arms like draped over the
Yeah.
the thing.
name. This one's like fucked up.
I think he's kind of stupid. 'Cause
He is a little
looks at
stupid.
her arm. He sees a tube coming out of it. And he's like, huh. And then he looks. Basically, Michael mainlined her vein
Yep.
with a tube.
And then snipped the tube so she just bled out
And so
all
she
over
just
the
bled
floor
out all over
while
to
she
the
was
floor.
strapped to one of the surgery tables.
And then Jim turns to run, slips on the puddle of blood, and knocks himself out.
Yep, that's why he's not around for a while. He knocked himself out in a puddle of blood like a moron.
On the flip side, Miss Jill
Oh God. Okay.
is walking down the hallway.
Yep.
Because she had ran outside to go
Yeah, because
check for cars because Jim told her, hey, if you don't find anyone,
get out of here and go to the sheriff's
Yeah.
department and go get somebody to get help.
all the cars have their tires slashed.
And a lot of them, it looked like had their oil line slashed or something.
That too. Yeah.
Because there was oil under all the cars, just leaking.
Which I think shows a level of thought we're not used to.
Yeah, that's
From
true.
Michael.
He is methodical in the way he kills, but it almost seemed not what's the word I'm looking for? Very much like a force of nature. It was like, if you get in my way, I will kill you.
Yeah.
There was no thought of like, I'm going to stop your escape, or I'm going to. It feels a lot more.
There's the word when you talk about
Premeditated.
psychology when you have killers, and there's some that are
It feels more premeditated.
yeah.
With this.
There's a word, I forget what it is, but there's ones that are like, they don't think through their stuff.
Yeah.
And then some that do. Organized and disorganized. And he feels like an organized killer.
For sure at this point. After that setup.
But yeah, Jill runs back inside. She finds Lori and she's like, hey. And then Michael comes behind her
Oh my God.
with a scalpel.
It's not
Stabs
even
her.
like a fucking big butcher knife or anything
No.
like that before. It's a single scalpel.
It's a scalpel. He stabs her in the spine and lifts her like 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, one hand, just like holding her
One-handed.
like a fucking trophy. It's insane.
I don't know how he did that with a scalpel. It maybe went in an inch. It must have gone all the way through the bone to hold
I
that
think
in.
he probably just was fully hand in her spine, just holding her
Lifts her up, drops her, and then starts walking menacingly.
at Lori, who's
Emphasis on walking.
he does not run,
And Lori,
stumbles
she's
away.
a cripple.
Yeah, her leg's fucked up. She's stumbling away, trying not to get murdered by Michael.
Long story short, she crawls into the basement, then crawls out a window.
Barely. He fucking
Barely.
almost stabs her ass a couple
Yeah.
times.
She escapes through an
Oh,
elevator.
on the
at
way
one
out, she
point.
gets to see the cop or the guard who's
It's
strung up.
sort of
downstairs.
her final girl circuit. She gets
Yeah.
to see the guard, and I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
But we didn't get to see the full guard, so that's why.
Yeah.
Um,
We just got to see the initial bludgeoning.
she escapes to one of the cars, opens the door, climbs into the front
Well, first she tries to start it, and
She
it does
tries to
not
start
start.
it. Doesn't
So
not
she
start.
freaks out and climbs into the
front
front side
passenger side
floorboard
floorboard.
and crunches down real small
I say that's a good hiding space.
It's
'Cause
okay.
You can hide under like the what's it called?
under the console.
Under the console.
You can try.
No, you can do pretty good.
I can't.
Well, you can't, but like
would not
if
fit.
you can fit in that space, you can hide under that console.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Okay.
And then
God damn.
Then all of a sudden,
Yep.
Jim's in the car.
Jimmy runs up because it's his car. Apparently,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
He's trying to start it.
He gets in, tries to start it, won't start, and you can tell he's delirious from smashing
He
his
seems
noggin to the
weird.
floor. Yeah, he's like, looks like he's gonna. He looks like he's really spaced out and zoned.
And Lori's like, Jim. And he's just like, huh?
We're gonna get out of here.
And then he passes out and his head hits the horn.
And he just is laid out on the horn, honking it, revealing her fucking hiding spot like a little douchebag. So then she's freaking out, shoves him off the horn so that she doesn't get caught, or stops the noise basically.
Yeah. She crawls out of the car.
Should we stop here?
After trying it again.
Yeah, after trying again.
And as she's crawling out of the car, she sees someone pull up.
Yep.
And it's Dr. Loomis.
The nurse.
The nurse.
From the psychiatric hospital.
And I think it's the
It's a
state
cop.
police.
I don't know if it's state
Did
police.
you see the hat?
He had like a
One of those flat bill hats
Yeah.
that state police wears.
I guess he might have been state. He probably was state police
Because
because the
he was sent
governor.
by the governor.
Yeah. So a state police officer.
they pull up. And so this is
who
where
I like, by the way. I thought he was very funny.
we pick up with Loomis's story.
Yes.
Basically, the nurse revealed something, which is hinted at because Lori has a flashback.
Yeah. While she's basically passed out from being
Passed
put
out
under.
of like her as a child, her mom being like, "I'm not your mother,"
Yeah.
and then a scene where she's looking at a person in a hospital ward or something.
Yeah.
But the nurse is like, "Yeah, the governor opened a sealed file."
Yeah, because he was afraid. Like basically, Michael had a sealed file, and the governor opened it to see if there was anything that could be useful.
Yeah, and it's
Loomis
a file
is like,
Loomis
"I've
has
seen
never
everything."
seen. Yeah.
Loomis is like, I've seen everything. What are you talking about? I've never heard of this. Like, I had no idea. And the nurse is like, it's unfair that you didn't get to see this piece of information.
Yeah, because what it is it says that Laurie Strode is the sister of Michael Myers.
Yep.
And that information was sealed after Laurie Strode's parents died. Or
After-
Laurie Myers' parents died.
Yeah, and she was adopted.
And it was adopted
the
by
age
the
of 2.
Strodes. At the age of 2.
So she has no memory of ever being adopted. She just always assumed those are her parents.
Yeah. I don't think they ever told her.
Her
The mom kind of did.
when
but
she was a kid,
didn't
but then
explain it.
Didn't explain it. Yeah, and then her parents died.
Her mom's kind of an asshole, by the way.
Yeah, she
I'm not
is.
your mother. Don't ask me these things.
Yeah, she was like 6 when she asked her that.
And so Loomis pulls a gun on the state police.
Oh yeah, that's fucking
And he's
funny.
like, go back to the hospital.
And then this officer's like, why the fuck would I do that? I want to keep my job. And then Loomis goes, I'll fire a warning shot, and shoots out the passenger window.
Love Loomis.
He's fucking crazy.
And the cops are just like, all right.
I guess I have to.
So they drive to the hospital. They get there. They go inside.
They go through the door, yeah.
And Lori's kind of saying help, but she can't scream.
Because she's delirious and
yeah.
out of it, yeah.
And so she only gets to screaming by the time they go through the door.
And they're inside, like, split up looking at this point.
And so she gets up and starts limping towards the door.
Yeah. And in this establishing thing, we see fucking Michael standing under a red light,
30 feet back.
like, just chilling, waiting.
And obviously, Bob expected it. I expected it.
Yeah.
But it's kind of shocking because the last time we see him, he's in the hospital.
Yeah, he's inside, like, hunting Lori down. We don't know how he got there.
Yep. We thought he was going to come out the main door because of the horn.
Mm-hmm.
And so she starts limping to the door. It's locked.
So she's banging on the door.
Which, super cool, because we know that door locks automatically
Yep.
when you go through it because we see the security guard
Yep. He, like, has to buzz people in
has
and
to
stuff.
buzz people in. And this is the first time in the movie it got shut because when Loomis went through, it shut.
Yep.
She starts banging on the door.
The cop hears her,
Cop hears her.
wheels around,
Lets her in.
Yep.
She runs inside.
and you're like, oh, we're good.
The door shuts.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Michael-
It's locked.
Michael's on the other side of a locked door. It's okay.
And then one of the coolest scenes in the movie happens. Michael walks through the door.
Completely. Like, it's a glass door.
It's a glass door, but with the metal bar in the middle.
There is a long metal bar in the middle, and Michael Myers, straight up, like a semi-truck, just slowly approaches it and just keeps going.
Doesn't run.
No, slowly walks through the door like there's nothing and just shatters the glass and breaks
Yep.
the metal to shreds.
Isn't slowed down at all.
No.
Rips through the center of the door.
Awesome. So cool.
And then Loomis fires on him.
6 shots.
Fully unloads his pistol again.
Again. And then, this is the funniest part of the movie to me. So Michael, of course, is laid out on the ground, and Loomis is like, he's still breathing, and the cop is like, no, he's dead, bro. You shot him 6 fucking times. Like, no way he's still alive.
He's like, he's still breathing. And the cop's like, all right.
All right. And the cop is standing over him at this point. And
He
Loomis
backs
is like,
up.
yeah. Loomis keeps screaming at him, get the fuck away from him, you idiot. He's not dead.
And then he turns to his nurse
And tells her to go get the radio.
from the cop car and like call in the rest of the police department.
And the cop is like, I'm the only one authorized to use that. And Loomis is just like, shut the fuck up. No one cares. Like, Well, who cares, bro?
And so he sends the nurse out. She runs to the car.
Yep.
And Loomis turns back to Lori and he's like, I'm so sorry I left you alone. I shouldn't have done that.
Which is very sweet.
Which is, it's honestly very sweet, especially because he's a licensed psychiatrist. So I think part of this is like, I feel bad that I left
someone who needed help
alone, which is kind of, I understand why, but he feels bad about it. I think that's
understandable, Loomis.
good character moment.
It is a good character moment.
But
so then the cop,
while he's distracted, the cop has leaned over Michael
and is on his knees looking at him, and he's like,
Feeling his
stop
pulse.
breathing. And Loomis is like, what are you doing? Get away from Michael.
The second Loomis says that, Michael sits up, grabs the cop, and just slits his throat
with a scalpel, which was awesome. Super cool scene.
And then, it's a hospital chase.
Yeah, they're getting chased after by Michael, Loomis, and oh my God, Lori.
Loomis and Lori. And they get cornered into this room.
I don't know is it a surgery room or
it's
something?
A surgery room, yeah.
Was it major surgery?
I don't know.
Because it wasn't
must
minor.
have been major surgery.
Because minor had
or
a dead
some other
body
surgery
in it.
room.
Yeah.
But it's filled with ether and oxygen, so stuff to put you under.
Yeah, which is highly
flammable. Yeah.
Highly
Ether's
flammable.
super flammable. Bob, what happens then?
So, Loomis is like, all right, we're cornered. I have a gun. Fuck it. I'm going to shoot Michael. Click. Loomis gets fucking stabbed. Oh, hold on. I skipped something. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad.
You skipped
Absolutely
the best
my fault.
part.
I skipped the best part. They lock the door behind them. And they're like, we're good. No way. Michael's like, you know what? That last door was made of metal. This one's made of wood. Fuck this door. He literally fucking punches a hole in it and then just walks through it again. He literally, we said this during the movie. It's like an immovable force meets an unstoppable object.
Yeah.
And the unstoppable object is Michael Myers. The immovable force is Dr. Loomis.
Because, again, Loomis has shot him another 6 times.
12 bullets.
12 bullets. And he's good.
He's fine.
He's
fine.
walked through 2 doors.
2 doors. So now he's in the room. Loomis tries to shoot him. No bullets. Drops the gun. Before this, actually, I think he picked up, I guess he just had a second gun.
I guess. I think it's the sheriff's gun.
How did he get that?
I don't know.
That isn't explained.
I don't know.
But it doesn't matter. It's cool, so it doesn't matter. So he basically, as soon as they get in there, before Michael comes to the door, he gives Lori a gun. It's like, use this if you have to. And Lori's like, I don't fucking do that. I'm freaking out.
Oh, it's probably the sheriff's gun because he probably took it from him when he was holding him up.
Oh, that makes sense.
He was holding the sheriff up at gunpoint.
That absolutely makes sense. So then Michael bursts through the door. Loomis tries to shoot him. Can't do it. Gets stabbed in the gut with a scalpel.
Yeah.
So I assume, Loomis has died.
Yeah, he falls over.
He falls over. I assume he's dead. Because most of the people Michael kills, one stab, you're done.
Yeah.
You get one good stab in it, and then you're fucking doomed.
And that's because he can stab through you with his fist.
Yeah, with all of his might.
And he approaches Lori, and Lori stops him.
She says Michael.
Yeah.
And he's stunned by the fact that someone said his name. He had,
Well, he's stunned by that, but then he looks at her, and he starts moving again, and she goes, Michael, stop. And he looks at her again, and he does his head tilt.
Yeah, like what he did when he killed Bob in the first one.
And I think the implication here is he kind of recognizes her.
Yeah.
Like, we know he's specifically going after her.
Yeah.
Because it's his last sister, and he already killed the first one.
He got the first one pretty
second
good.
one. But it's an interesting moment.
It is. It humanizes him in a very interesting way.
In a way that, to me, it feels like it's the film going, yeah, he's just pure evil. But there's a human in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere. Under the 12
I'm
bullets
hoping they kind of play with that in the third film. That would be cool.
But long story short,
Lori shoots him
twice.
She must be a good shot.
In the head.
She shoots him twice in the eyes.
Yeah.
So then blood starts to run down his fucking mask.
Like he's crying.
Which is pretty sad.
Pretty cool.
It is cool, but it's very sad. So then I'm like, oh, she's fucked. And then I'm like, oh, wait, he can't see.
Well, Bob's just like, he can't see. Because he can't. He starts swinging around wildly. I'm just like, he got shot twice in the head with a .38 revolver, and he does not go down. He's just blinded.
Yeah, it's fine.
That is the most, this is not human thing in this movie. He's swinging around.
Yeah.
Loomis gets up.
Surprisingly. I thought he was done.
Barely limps over to a wall, and then starts opening a gas tank.
Removing
ether.
Yeah. Removing tubes from walls so that they're just going out into the air, filling it with gas.
Lori sees what he's doing. She does the same thing.
Yep.
Loomis walks over to another one, starts opening ether and oxygen. Starts opening ether and oxygen stuff.
Yeah.
And Loomis calls her over, and he's just like,
get the fuck out. Leave.
Get the fuck out. And as Lori's running down the hall, he pulls out a lighter.
Yeah.
And this is such a cool scene.
Oh,
because
it's so good.
He got the lighter
so early on.
10 minutes into the film.
From the blonde cop.
Who lit a cigarette and tried to give him the lighter to light his own cigarette. But Loomis didn't smoke.
Yeah, so he just
took the
it.
lighter.
Yep.
And he just lights it.
And blows that bitch sky high.
Now, I think this is also a very cool scene because when they go to the elementary school,
yeah,
on the wall in blood is the word Samhain.
Oh,
and Loomis,
my fucking
did you not get
God.
this?
No, I didn't get that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so Samhain's another word for Halloween, but Loomis says it's the Lord of
the Dead.
Lord of the Dead. That's what he says it means. And when he's driving in the state police car, he starts talking about Samhain traditions and how they used to burn people alive.
Yep.
So they could predict the future and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they were basically burning the Lord of the Dead.
Yeah, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool. I did not put that together. That's because he's like, they would burn, what was it? Criminals, murderers, animals, something,
Yeah.
and something
And
else.
also, before Loomis sets the fire,
Yeah.
when Michael Myers is swinging around randomly, he says to Laurie, he's an animal. He's an animal.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, how he puts this together. But long story short, Laurie's in the hallway. She's falling down.
Yeah.
When the explosion
From the explosion,
happens.
because it kind of, the shockwave blasts her.
And at this point in the movie, Bob goes, "Oh, the lighter thing." I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh." And I'm like, "Yeah." Because at this point, Michael Myers has stepped out of the inferno.
Yeah, he's walking towards Laurie on fire.
And I think it's very funny because you did not see him.
No, I was looking at you talking. Because I was like, this is cool.
And then you turned around.
Yeah, dude, it was super sick.
And
it looked so cool.
It's a good fire stunt.
It looks awesome.
Like, I can tell, because we're watching in HD, I can tell he's wearing a fire suit.
Yeah.
But it looks close enough to his actual jumper.
Because he's already
clothes.
just big, you know?
So it just looks like normal. He walks a good amount.
Like 5 to 10 feet.
And then falls over and starts burning to death.
Yep.
And then, then it's the ending.
The end of the movie.
She gets carted off to another hospital.
Yep.
They say the line where, like, oh, there's 10 dead so far.
Yeah.
And the movie closes. I think we're just driving off.
Yeah, the ambulance leaving.
And then a close-up on Michael's face burning and Mr. Sandman.
Yep, which is
Which
what
was-
the movie started with,
What the movie started with.
which is nice.
So, yeah, that's the movie rundown.
Yep, that's the movie.
So I think
Yeah.
we can now talk about some of the things we liked and disliked.
Oh. So, something we talked about is the pacing of the movie.
Yeah.
First one, very slow.
Yeah.
Payoff. First one, super slow. Payoff, great. This one kicks it all.
Yeah,
It's
and-
awesome.
Me and Bob talked about this during the movie, and I think we came to the conclusion that the reason the pace is so much more high energy in this film
It's much faster.
is because it takes place immediately after
Yeah.
the first movie.
Like, literally immediately.
So if you watched it the way we did, which
Back
is
to
back
back.
to back, it is essentially the same film just broken into two parts.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, and so the first film stands as like the dramatic tension build.
Yep.
And then when everything hits hard and you have this energy, you keep with it in the second film.
Yeah,
And
which
that's
is
why
super awesome.
it's very tonally different.
It is, but it rolls off of the first film perfectly.
Yeah, it's such a perfect transition. Now, I'm not sure how well it would have worked if we hadn't just come off the first film.
Yeah,
It would have
I
felt
agree.
a little bit weird.
It would have been weird because I would have been expecting more of the first film.
Yeah, you would have calmed down as an audience member.
Yeah.
But it works perfectly here. And I think the thing that captures the energy the best is the theme song.
I wanted to talk about that.
I'll let you talk
The
about it.
Halloween 2 theme is so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's John Carpenter
It's awesome. Because basically all they did was redo the theme, except it's faster
Mhm.
and it has more depth.
Yeah, they added more synth in the background. That's a little
Yeah.
bit more pluckier. That's how I
It's
describe
so
it.
cool, dude. Because like the establishing shot of Michael walking down the street after like he got away, it's just playing that and it's just him
Yeah,
walking away.
They cut it. It's the first time we hear it in the
Yeah,
movie.
it is.
They removed the Michael Myers theme song in the clips that it's supposed to be in
from the first film.
from the first film.
Which is why I went, oh, the music's different.
yeah,
I mentioned
and
it.
you noticed it, and it only cuts in when we see him walking down the street.
Yep.
It's so good
It's so cool.
because
dude.
it's only slightly faster.
Yep.
And the tones of the dun 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 is only slightly changed, but it now overcomes the background bass. That's the dun.
Yep.
So it feels less menacing and more energetic. That's
yeah,
the best way
I
to
mean,
describe
and
it.
I talked about this too. The dude playing Michael in this film, Dick Warlock. Sick.
Great
fucking
name.
name.
He sounds like a Robin.
Yeah, he does. I could tell it was a different Michael actor.
Yeah.
He's very different, but in a good way.
You said he felt more energetic.
He
to
felt
you.
more energetic. I could feel the actual like swings, and I could feel him like I don't know. He just felt more alive,
I mean, he's still
which is cool.
slow moving.
Yeah, which is fine. Like the slowness is fine
I guess the best way to say it
because
is
that's part of the character.
he feels more like an object that's in motion at all times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. I really, really enjoyed it.
I guess the other thing, how'd you feel about the Laurie Strode kind of plot where she's the sister?
Fine.
Fine?
Fine.
You liked it? You didn't
Yeah,
like it?
It was fine. I mean, it added a reason for him to be chasing her, and
Yeah.
I'm mad that they retconned it.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, in the new, most recent Halloween movies, which ends with Halloween Ends, it is a soft reboot, so it only takes the first movie into
Yep.
account, meaning in those movie series, Laurie Strode is not related to Michael Myers.
Yeah, which means it's just kind of stupid that he's just stalking her then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, I've seen the first movie, and I'll tell you now. They literally say in that movie, yeah, he disappeared once he fell off the balcony, but we just found him, like, a block away.
Really?
It's so lame.
That is fucking lame.
Also, he's like 70 in that movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
know.
Whatever. Strange.
Yeah, I like the idea that she's the...
Yeah, it
sibling.
gives him a reason to be motivated to chase her, which is fine.
It's a little
whatever.
It's a little whatever, yeah.
But it makes sense, and I'm cool with.
But it explains just why he's coming after her so hard. Because even before he kills all her friends, she's specifically stalking Lori.
Yeah, it's very clear. And they're just collateral damage, you know?
And it's weird that he's specifically stalking her.
Yeah.
And so I think this ties that together very nicely.
Yeah,
the way I like.
It sort of wraps it up in a nice little bow. It's like, oh, here you go.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Which preference did you have? Which one did you like better?
Okay, so I think they're very different films.
They're very different
They're very
films,
different
yes.
films. I like the second one more.
Yeah, I could tell.
I like the second one more. It's so much more fun.
I think you just like the energy better.
I do.
I'd be
The first one
interested-
is good, and I would say the first one is a better movie,
Oh, yeah. Much better movie.
and I like it a lot. But the second one just it hits all those notes that I want. You know what I mean? It has cool action, the explosions. I did not expect that explosion from the van when he got pushed into it. It was really cool.
There was good explosions. That one and the hospital one was
Yeah,
the hospital
fucking
one was
rad.
really good.
Yeah, dude. Like the kills were more creative, which I thought was cool. Cause like the first movie, Michael stabs you
Yeah.
with whatever he has available.
Although that stab into the wall,
it's so good. It's so good.
again, brutal, not gory,
Brutal.
but perfectly brutal.
Yeah, because that takes so much force.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I think the first movie's better, but this one's
It's more fun.
It's a different movie.
It's more fun.
I think it's hard to
This one
view
actually
these-
didn't. I got more scared this one time.
Oh
too.
yeah, you were scared.
It was cool though.
That was
awesome.
fun to see, especially because you weren't scared in the first one. You're
No.
like, anyone could watch this.
Yeah, I think anyone could watch this one too.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Well, eyeball stuff. Boiled woman.
I do think it's interesting that, like, I don't think of these as two separate movies. They
No,
are.
it's one
obviously.
movie. Honestly,
But it's basically like one 2-part movie.
yeah, which is cool. I mean, Rec did the same thing.
Yeah, but these ones, compared to Wreck, to me at least,
More continuous.
seem to blend together as one film better. Like, I could watch Wreck 1 and not watch Wreck 2.
Fair.
Or I could watch Wreck 2 and not watch Wreck 1.
Yeah, fair.
I feel like you have to watch these together.
I feel like the same thing. Like
It's
honestly.
like the crescendo to this amazing build-up.
Yeah.
It's a good payoff.
They spend the whole first movie setting up the second movie, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah. It's the little things about all this stuff, you know?
Oh, yeah. The writing in this was great. We've mentioned the kind of callbacks they established really early on in the film.
Yeah.
It's always good to see a film that establishes little things in the beginning when
And
it
then
knows...
pays them off.
Yeah, because, like, they could have just had the door lock randomly.
Yeah.
They didn't have to explain it. They could have just had Loomis have a lighter. They didn't
Yeah.
have to explain that.
Exactly.
Those were little things they put in there. Great, great writing.
Yep. Especially because it's stuff you forget about.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, you're like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. They were
It's
framed
so
enough
good.
that you remember.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to tie in both plots because it's basically two separate stories.
Yeah.
Which I like that. I don't know
I do
what you
too.
thought about
I
that.
like the jumping between them because one of them there was no Michael, so there was no not that there was no threat. Well, I guess it is that there was no threat. That
It was more of a, I don't know, like an investigation movie.
yeah, it gave us time to also relax because we knew he wasn't there. We knew that if he showed up, then the other people in the hospital would be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just cool.
I thought it was just interesting because in horror movies, we usually only see, like, here are the people that are unsuspecting victims with the killer.
Yep.
I thought it was interesting seeing the other side of, like, here's the law enforcement
Yeah.
who are just trying their best to do their job, and they don't know the things we know,
Yeah.
and they're struggling to get there.
It's very, very
I thought
good.
that was really good. It's also a good way to keep Loomis away from the action.
Yeah.
Because he's the only person who takes it seriously.
He is him. Yeah, dude.
Not that anyone else isn't serious, but he's the only one that is
Has a full knowledge of the threat.
so invested
Yeah.
that he takes it
Extremely
as
seriously.
serious
so
as
seriously that he
possible.
blows himself up, in fact.
Yeah, he's dedicated.
Very dedicated. I mean, hell, he spent fucking 15 years with that guy in a
And
mental
7 of those
institution.
years were him just making sure he didn't get released.
Yeah.
Which I think is insane because at that point, I think he gave up on being a therapist. I think he
Yeah.
was like, I've given up on humanity.
I'm just gonna make sure this man never sees the light of day.
Yeah.
And he does do that. Michael.
He tries his best. And I think that's a fun thing this movie also establishes is none of this is Loomis's fault.
No.
But everyone keeps trying to blame him
Oh
for
my
stuff.
god, dude. So the sheriff in the first film
Yeah.
finds out that Annie, his daughter, has been killed by Michael. And the first thing he does is yell at Loomis and blame him.
Yeah.
And then Loomis is like, I fucking told you to put him in prison. I told you what to do with him and no one listened to me.
And he said that the first movie, everyone, he's just like, I told you to have a higher security detail. I told you to take this seriously.
Yep.
And every time everyone's like, no, until things start to go wrong. And he's the guy they point fingers at.
Yeah, it's like, it's not his fucking fault. He's really trying.
But I think that's very accurate to like how this situation would be.
Oh, for sure.
It's good writing.
Absolutely.
Another thing, because I think we have to mention it before we stop.
Oh?
Director.
Yeah, so
Different director,
Different director, not John Carpenter.
different style of shots.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, but you can at least kind of notice it's different, even if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, a lot more POV stuff.
POV, a lot more framed wide shots where they were
Yes.
steady and you'd see things in the background.
Yes, and a lot less panning away and Michael just being gone.
Yeah, that was a good first movie thing. Although
Yeah.
I think that was more for suspense.
Yeah, which I don't think this movie has suspense, but it doesn't. It's more in a classic slasher way, just kind of Michael running around doing stuff.
Yeah, it more focused on him in the background, but
Yeah.
what he's doing in the background.
Yes.
Off screen as we see the characters behaving normally in the
Yeah,
foreground.
because they don't see him.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking scary.
But I don't think this director did a bad job.
No, not at all. I don't think so at all. I think
No.
it was quite good.
And are you excited to see him do another Halloween movie?
Did you do,
He does Halloween Resurrection. I think I mentioned that earlier.
oh, cool. Yeah,
So he comes back.
We'll watch it eventually, probably.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. I'm not sure how we're gonna do big series like this for coming back to him, but
Yeah.
it might be a extra board kind of thing and not a main board. But
Yeah, maybe not. Unless it fits into the category we choose.
yeah, but we'll probably have to come back to it a different way.
Interesting category, masked killers. Because there were a bunch of those.
Just slashers.
I mean, yeah, because you got like, what, Leatherface has a mask. Jason has a
Leatherface,
mask.
Michael Myers,
Michael.
Jason.
There's more.
I mean, Chucky kind of has a mask.
It's a doll.
Well, he wasn't a doll originally.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. Do you have anything else to add or discuss about the film?
No, I think we covered everything. I like the second one more, but the first one was super good, and yeah,
It felt like an objectively better movie.
it is an objectively better
But
movie. But the
just
second one
enjoyed
is
this.
just so much more fun.
Again,
Because I like the fact that Michael got creative.
Mhm.
It adds more to the film.
that's a classic thing in kind of slasher movies. More creative kills as you go on.
Because not to say that the first film, it was lacking in creativity for kills, but it
It didn't have a budget.
didn't have a budget, but also that I feel like sort of on purpose because Michael would just.
It's cold precision.
It's cold precision. He's not trying to be creative. He's not doing this because it's fun. He's doing it because he is death.
I also think he was in a more controlled setting in the first movie.
True. That's fair.
This movie, he was like, I have 10 people I have to kill before I can get to Lori.
Yeah, and
Versus
I'm
the
in a
first
hospital
movie.
too, so he has more options.
Yeah, in the first movie, it's just one by one. So I feel like that was
One
more
by one,
his-
and it's all in one house.
Yeah, they
So,
came to him.
Yeah.
I will be interested if we ever rewatch the first one
Mhm.
to see if you like it better on a second rewatch.
I might.
Kind of having a feel for how he behaves.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. Do you have anything else to discuss about the film? And we can move on to our questions.
I have the list stuff.
So nothing else to discuss?
Nothing
in
else
general?
to discuss. I have
Alright.
this, but that is it.
Out of 10, scary board.
Oh, scarier than that first one. Probably like a 7.
Seven?
It's not that much scarier. There's some moments that really got me that are pretty fucking freaky, but it wasn't. I was not terrified.
Okay, but you thought it was
It was
scarier than the first
for
one?
sure. For sure.
Did you feel more tense during the first one?
I was pretty loose during the first one.
Okay,
Honestly.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Again, I think part of this though is you didn't expect what to happen in this movie,
No, I didn't know what was
but
going on.
you basically knew what was going to happen in the first one.
Yeah, because it's Michael Myers. It's
Yeah.
so ingrained in pop culture. Like I knew what it was. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, he's gonna stab them with the knife, and he's not gonna die.
And you had no clue this time.
Yeah, which was awesome. It
I-
added excitement. For
I
me.
wonder if that helped.
Probably.
So it'll be interesting if you ever watch these again on second viewing, how that knowing both things going in.
Yeah, for sure.
What's my other question? Oh, who would you recommend this to?
Ooh, good question. I think if you're gonna watch the first one, watch the second one. Watch them together.
Yeah.
I will
Double
always.
feature?
I will say that till I just watch them together. It's so good together. It's just.
There's
well,
some movies you watch as a two-parter.
Yeah, I completely think you should watch this. So if you want to watch the first one, watch the second one. I think this feels more like a classic slasher, more akin to something like Friday the 13th or
Yeah.
Freddy. You know.
You have to understand, like, both these movies are early slasher. Like, Halloween is considered one of the first true slasher movies.
Yeah.
But between this movie and the first one, other movies came out.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th had already come out at this point.
Yeah, because they came out the same year, didn't they?
Yeah, so there's very clearly things that they adapted from the first movie
Mhm.
naturally.
Yeah.
And there's also things you can tell probably came from the cultural zeitgeist of, now this genre's been established and we want to be more like it.
Fair. But it definitely feels more like a classic slasher film,
Yeah.
which is cool. And
Well, it feels like a sequel to a classic slasher film.
yeah, I guess.
Some of the first ones are like the first Halloween, but
Oh, okay. That's cool. So if you're into that, I think this is a good movie. I
Mhm.
think if you're into more of a, I don't want to call it action horror, but it's more akin to that, like an actiony horror movie. I think this is on the fence.
there's more stuff going on.
Yeah, and I think think honestly, I think I'd recommend this to anyone.
It's a good intro
Horror
to horror
genre
movie.
movie. I liked it.
I will stand by the fact that slashers are a good way to get into the genre.
That's yeah, I agree.
Because a lot of them are old enough where the horror isn't super horrifying to us.
Yeah.
And once you get through the first couple movies, it's more of a focus on the killer and how creative he can get with kills.
Yeah.
Which is just
Fun.
pure exploitation for the sake of fun.
Yeah.
So I think this is the first good two movie introduction.
Yeah, I agree.
It's well written. They're objectively pretty good films.
I'm so glad we watched these. They're so fucking fun.
All right. Do you want to mention what you added to your board today, Bob?
Okay.
Of things that scared you?
So I did add 3 things from this movie. I don't like needles.
Yeah, you added that new. That's new, right?
That's new. Needles,
Yeah.
got 1.
Mhm.
Actually, I guess technically it should be 2, but whatever.
I guess, yeah, there was 2 parts. There was the arm and then the eye and head.
Yeah.
You know what you didn't add?
What?
Razor blades.
We didn't see any razor blades in this movie.
Yes, we did.
The fucking kid in the mouth thing. You're right. I forgot. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah, there's a starting scene where
When
as
Lori
Lori
first gets to
pulls
the
into the
hospital,
hospital, we see this random scene. It's really random.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's addressing a cultural thing going on at the time.
It is.
Where there's a kid being taken into the hospital with a bleeding mouth.
And there's blood all over his
And
face.
the mom pulls away the cloth, and there's a razor blade lodged in his gum like it's to the bone.
Yeah. So basically, the whole razor blade and candy shtick.
Yeah, I have to imagine that story was first going around
Probably in the 80s, yeah,
when
this
this movie
out.
came out, and it was
Culturally relevant at the time.
John Carpenter addressing it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a nod.
It was funny. It was.
This is kind of absurd because
Yeah. It's.
they pull it out immediately,
Yeah.
and then the kid says something to the mom, and the mom's like, "I can't understand you. Let's just give you some pizza and stuff and go home, watch
Yeah.
a movie."
Eyeball stuff. Stuff in eyeballs. Eyeballs
Yeah.
getting pierced. Eyeballs getting popped out.
Mm.
I don't fucking like eyes. They freak me
This
out.
eyeball stuff always reminds me. There's a really early French film, like kind of the beginning of the French film movement,
I didn't know that was a thing.
and yeah, there's a specific period. It's not the original French film movement with the Lumiere brothers. It's like the secondary movement, and there's this very famous film, and it's so brutal because there's an eye sliced open with a razor blade.
Oh.
But I think it's like a real eye,
Oh my god.
not like a real person's eye. I think it's like an animal eye or something.
That's
It looks
still gross.
It looks really realistic and goopy when it gets sliced open.
Oh, that's so gross, dude.
I'll have to find the footage.
Don't show me that. Last thing I added that I didn't tell you I was going to put on here. Boiled. People getting boiled or
figured.
scalded by water. Not a fan.
Not a fan of burns.
Of what?
Is it specifically water burns, or is it just like burns?
Boiled specifically. The idea of being put into a pot of
Okay.
hot water like a crab.
Like a crab?
Like a crab scares me.
Nah,
yeah.
see, that wasn't hot enough for a crab boil.
I don't know how hot it has to be for a crab boil.
It has to be boiling.
Well, the water was...
That was only 120,
Anyway,
130.
those are the things I added to my super spooky scary list of doom.
All right. It's getting filled up.
It's getting there.
surprisingly fast.
So I got
And
a
you're
long
only
list of
counting
stuff.
1 check per thing per movie.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, with needles, you only counted once, even though you could have put twice.
Yeah.
Or thrice.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything to add on this movie?
Let me have a thought. I don't think so. I really liked it.
I think we got a good discussion in on this movie.
I really liked this movie. It was fucking great.
It's good. I liked it. I guess we're going to cut to,
Screams.
or,
Funnies.
as we're calling it now,
I don't know. We have a name for it. I think
Well,
best bits is fine.
best bits.
The best parts of the audio that we
We
get
need
from
a
the movie.
we need a catchy name. If you got a
Yeah, if you have a
got a
suggestion
good
for a
idea,
catchy name, let
we'll
us know.
use it at some point. We're gonna cut to that, and then we'll come back for our closeout.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see you in a minute.
See you in a bit.
Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the outtakes of this episode of Beware the Board. I hope you all enjoyed our review of Halloween 2. I thought it was an awesome movie. I much prefer it to the first one. It's a lot faster. But without further ado, let's get into the outtakes. This first one comes to us from The Cold Open Kill, where we see Michael absolutely eviscerate some random person in the town. Oh, okay. Can I be real?
Yeah,
This movie's scarier than the first one.
because you know it's already started.
Yeah. There's no build up. He's just going, bro.
Yeah.
He's just doing it.
I think the first movie's more menacing,
Yeah.
but it's kind of ruined again by the fact that you already know going in.
True.
This one, you have no idea. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what he's gonna do, but
I know
like,
who he is, what he's about, but I don't know what
so
he's...
does the audience. So they're building on that fact.
Yeah. It's cool. Also, this teenager is absolutely murdered. Oh, that was cool. So this is a different Michael, right? This guy, what is it? What was his name?
Yeah,
Dick Warlock.
Sounds like Robin.
His name is Dick Warlock. Also, that guy has a sick fucking mustache.
Yeah.
That cop.
Also, did you notice the blood?
Yeah, a lot more splatter.
Different director.
This next clip is my reaction to a fairly normal medical procedure. When Lori gets into the hospital, they take her blood, and they have to use needles, and I am not a fan.
They're so nonchalant.
They are.
What happened?
Ah! Ah!
Oh, do you not like needles?
No, I don't like needles, homie. I don't.
I wonder if that was a real needle. That looked pretty real.
Ugh. Not a huge fear of mine. It just makes me uncomfortable.
How about a needle through the eyeball?
Oh, deadly. This next clip is my reaction to the cop that the chief calls slamming into the fake Michael, ramming into a van with his cop car, and blowing him up. It was fucking wild.
I mean, yeah, he's got a trick-or-treat bag.
Oh my god, Loomis is gonna kill this kid. Oh! Oh my god! What the fuck?
You know, that's what happens when you don't look both ways.
They just killed that guy! Oh my god! If that's not him, that's insane. That guy just committed murder.
Well, it's a cop. Death
It's a
by
cop. And this cop's just like, well, I just killed this kid.
He's like, you guys just left me.
Oh my god. This next clip is our reaction as the security guard for the hospital, Mr. Garrett, decides to go and investigate the lockup because apparently the alarm's gone off. Turns out, Michael's in there, and he catches a hammer to the skull. He's gonna go individually to every single one like that? Are you fucking kidding me? I'd shit a brick. I could not. Oh, I thought he was right there. I thought Michael was on his ass for a second. Jesus Christ. He looked so disgruntled with himself. Don't. Yep, there it is. Oh, God. Oh! Holy shit. Mikey's got a new toy. He's got a hammer to the skull.
Forky hammer.
This next clip comes to us straight from the water therapy pool and the deaths of both Karen and Buddy. As Michael, well, you know, he gets them. I'm so perplexed right now.
About what?
Well, okay. Where are...
Bob was
This is-
shocked speechless.
Yeah, where... They're in the therapy room?
Yeah.
I guess it's for water therapy.
Yeah, probably.
For, like, people who get hurt and stuff and need to rebuild muscle mass.
Probably.
That makes sense.
But it's also the sex tub.
I would not want to have sex in that, by the way, just so everyone is aware.
It could also be for water bursts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I
Potentially.
hadn't considered that.
It's definitely not, but it could be.
It could be. They could use it for that, for sure.
That's not what they use it for. That's too big. And too deep.
I mean, it's really big.
And way too deep. That was so fucking cheesy.
Oh, no.
It's just me.
No. No.
Hydrotherapy
So,
pool.
something else I have a problem with, and I'm going to write it down. It's going to... No. I hate shit like this. I wouldn't get out of that.
Well, you should. You'll get cooked
Ugh.
alive. Man-ass.
I was kind of hoping we'd see Dawn.
It's not often we see man-ass, though, at least.
Yeah, it's not. That guy's hairy as fuck. I didn't know how hairy he was.
Like, I'm not a fan of man-ass. I'm not a fan of hanging dong.
I wanted him to hang Dawn because it's very rare.
But I respect it when a director decides to do it because we don't see it.
It's true.
And I think that's, something.
Oh, Mikey's got him. Holy shit, he's choking him out.
Bye. Bye, sleazy driver
That's so,
guy.
It's so silent, bro. Don't even hear him hit the floor.
Nah. Well, there's glass there and a door.
I know. Oh, God, she's not going to know, is she?
At least her hair's dry.
Yeah, at least her hair's dry.
Gotta put the bobby pins back in.
Yep.
Oh, hi. Let me tap you on the shoulder. Tap, tap.
You think he's going to get her? He's right behind her. I mean,
Well,
he's
she's-
got to get her, right?
She's gonna turn around and be like, "Oh, hi, bud."
Get cucked.
And she's just like, "Bud, your hands are so big
And covered in blood.
and masculine."
Oh. Ah!
They taste
That's not
sexy.
cranberry sauce.
He doesn't have blood on his fingers.
He did earlier.
Well, yeah, but you probably washed them.
Oh, fuck. No, because that's so hot. Oh, he turned it back down.
Well, not yet.
No, it's starting to... Nope.
It's getting
nope.
to scalding.
Ben, I can't... No, I'm serious. This is...
Oh, look
Oh!
at her face. Kind of the skin's melting off.
God! Oh, my Lord. Nope. This is too much.
You know-
Benjamin?
You know when I'm like, I burn the inside of my mouth?
Uh-huh.
That's what it's like.
Oh, God, don't pull her out of that. Don't...
You know what the most shocking part about this is?
What? Oh!
His hand was also going in the water.
Yeah, but he's an indestructible demon. This next clip comes to us from the deaths of Dr. Mixter and Janet. Michael seems to have learned that syringes are just as good as kitchen knives.
Dr. Mixter? That's such a weird name. Mixter. Dude, I can't believe the doctor's taking a shower.
Yeah, I was about to say, we haven't seen the doctor in a while.
He's a little old to be taking a shower.
What? Old to be taking a shower?
What if he falls down? Dr. Mixter? It's getting steamy in there. Hello? Dr. Mixter?
Oh, he's not fucking
Oh, look,
alive. No way
fishies.
he's alive, bro.
Fishies!
Or he's gonna turn around and be like, "Rawr."
I want him to make that exact noise.
Rawr.
Rah!
Oh, he looks... Wait, he alive, actually? He looks like he's not dead. Oh!
How do you feel about needles through the eye, Bob?
Oh, my God. That's fuck. Did he kill him? Oh! Oh! No, Michael! Michael, you fucking whore! Mikey! Michael! Michael! No! Do not!
Oh my god.
Oh, wait, he didn't.
No, he did, Bob. I don't think you realize. He filled the syringe with air, pushed it through her skull, and then pushed the air out into her brain. This next clip is our reaction as Michael gets the drop on the nurse Jill and shoves a scalpel so far up her spine that he lifts her into the air. Lori's in shock.
Oh, no, Mikey! Oh, scalpel in the... Oh, my God!
He's so strong.
Michael Myers is inhumanly strong.
With the tiny scalpel through the spine.
Oh, my God! Yeah. This movie's... yeah. I can't believe they removed this from the canon. This next clip is our reaction as Dr. Loomis takes a state police officer hostage and makes him take him back to the hospital so that he can deal with Michael personally. By the way, I saw that coming.
Well, yeah, I know.
Because they set it up with the picture and the memories that she was having flashbacks of.
I mean, yeah.
That she forgot she had.
Yeah. That's good writing, though.
It is.
When you can tell before the twist.
What? Jesus Christ, Doctor. Dr. Loomis is actually an insane person.
He's old.
He's old.
And he feels responsible.
Sure. This next clip is our reaction to Lori beating on the doors of the hospital, being buzzed inside, being chased by Michael, and Michael not giving a fuck that there is a giant metal door in front of him and just bulldozing through it. I'm looking. I always, anytime it pans
In the
up,
background?
and it's a wide shot, I have to look and see if I can see him. Oh, yep, I fucking saw that
See him
coming.
in the background?
Yep. Oh, the doors are fucking locked. Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, they established that really early in the movie, that you have to be buzzed in.
Yeah.
Again, good writing.
I mean, we know it's not gonna work. Loomis
I
just
shot him
so
6
many
times!
Oh! What? What the fuck?
You know what the most wild part of that was?
What?
There was a metal bar.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This guy's fucking immovable. That's like an immovable object hits an unstoppable force. Dr. Loomis is the immovable object, and Michael Myers is the unstoppable force.
I think you mean the door is the...
No. Dr. Loomis. This next clip is our reaction as the dumb state police officer who's been told multiple times to back away from Michael's body gets his throat slit by a scalpel because he didn't listen to Dr. Loomis.
Do not bend over.
You're gonna get murdered, you stupid bitch
Why
cop.
won't he
Oh my god,
die?
he's gonna kill him. I know he's gonna kill him. Oh,
It's so good.
it's so menacing. Oh my god.
He's standing there.
Menacingly. This next clip is fairly long because it's our reaction to the end of the film, essentially. The final encounter between Dr. Loomis, Lori, and Michael. It's very good. Have a listen. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, they have 2 guns. I'm sure double the bullets will do it. I'm sure that's all it'll take to get rid of Mikey. Holy shit, he's fucking crazy strong. Oh my, he's out of bullets. Dr. Loomis is out of bullets. Oh! Holy shit, he stabbed him. He got him. I can't believe he actually got him.
Michael? That was you earlier.
Nice.
Oh, he's doing the head turn.
It's almost like he's put up some decor he liked.
Oh, he's like, where do I know you? Never mind. Back to stabbing.
Oh! 2 shots.
Right in the eyes.
1 in each eye. That's insane. Oh my god. He doesn't know what to do.
The fact that he's still standing.
Oh, he's blind now. Yeah.
I like how he's blinded. Not dead. Not dead. Blinded.
Blinded. Yeah, he's been blinded.
He got shot in the head. I want you to think about that.
Yeah, 2 shots to the face.
With a 38.
I mean, that shit would definitely kill a man.
Good thing he's not a man.
What are they filling the room with? Ether? Ether? I don't know what that is.
Ether's very explosive and flammable.
What is the other canister?
Ether. It's all
2
ether.
canisters of ether? 3.
Yeah.
Okay, but how are they gonna cause it to explode, though?
And oxygen.
Which is also highly explosive by itself. Well, not O2, but O is highly explosive.
It is used as an anesthetic, if you're wondering why it's in the hospital.
All right, good to know.
But it's extremely volatile. And it smells good. He's an animal.
No, don't do this right now. Dr. Loomis, you son of a bitch.
You glorious son of a bitch.
That is such a obscure... Okay, cool explosion, cool way to kill Michael. Do you know where he got that lighter?
Yeah.
That is such a small, little thing so early on
Yeah.
that I did not think would come up ever again.
But it's better than him just pulling a lighter out of his coat for no reason.
Yeah, that's what... This movie's done. The movie's done it. There's just been a moment of holy... Oh my god, holy shit!
I thought you were talking about this.
No, I was talking about the lighter thing. What the hell? He's alive? Michael! Oh, come on.
It's such an obvious
looks
fire
crazy.
suit, though. It's really cool, though.
It's awesome. Oh, he's dead now. Okay, we're good. Hey, everybody. We're back.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed those little outtakes.
Those outtakes from the actual recording of the movie.
That's what we could call it, the outtakes.
I guess we can call it the outtakes. That's fine. That works for me.
Yeah, I like that.
Hopefully you like some of the. I hope the one of me screaming Michael got in there because Ben said I sound like Dwight from The Office.
Oh my god, you sound so much like Dwight.
I haven't seen The Office. I've heard his voice, but you know.
Michael.
Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Beware the Board. I had a fucking blast. I love that movie.
Yeah, Bob has actually seemed to be in a good mood today about movies, which is shocking because normally
Well,
he enjoys them, but he's not excited.
no, it was so good. It was just good. I love when I watch a good movie.
Well, we still have the third one ready to go.
Third one right after this, baby. So if you're listening to this when it came out, this should come out on a Wednesday.
This is coming out on Monday, Bob.
You're right. The first one would be on a Friday. So
Yeah,
this
the
is
first
Monday
one's on Friday. This is Monday when you're listening to this, and the next episode is going to come out on Wednesday.
for the third Halloween film. And
Yeah.
then on Friday, we'll have the normal episode. We haven't even decided what movie we're watching yet.
Whatever movie we're watching next.
Whatever it'll be.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out our Twitter at Beware the Board. We'll post the episodes. We'll also post links to special episodes. I'll tweet them when they go live. Basically, just to keep up to date with us and what we're up to.
Yeah.
Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton. Helps us beat that algorithm so we can actually get some views from non-people I send it to.
Yeah, but that's not going to work.
Nah, hopefully. We'll see.
We might be on Spotify by the time this comes out.
Maybe, mayhaps. I'll keep saying it.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. We'll be on Spotify at some point in time.
Yeah.
We will try. Well, I'm not trying anything. I'm just waiting.
You have any suggestions for movies you'd like us to watch? Questions you'd like us to ask?
Yeah.
Let us know. Always fun to see those. Always helpful.
Mm-hmm.
We'll try our best to do something with that information.
Yeah. If you leave a comment, we'll see it because there aren't any now. It'll be one of the only ones, baby.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think we're going to go into movie number 3 for us tonight.
Yeah, I think we're going to watch Halloween 3.
But we'll see you on Wednesday.
We'll see
with
you
our
next
next
time.
episode.
Yeah.
So, see you next time. Have a nice rest of your 2 days.
Have a nice week. Have a nice life. How about that?
Have a nice life.
All right. Bye.
Bye.